What the hell is this?
After my last video about the Netflix Devil May Cry show came out, they released a soundtrack list, adding even more brown M&Ms to the pile when I specifically asked for none. Green Day, Rage Against the Machine, Papa Roach? Only a few songs from the games and their covers or remixes? And the full listing from the YouTube playlist isn't much better. Some immediately dismissed the soundtrack as Shankar having latched onto the DMC 5 memes in the Ninja Theory game, but the soundtrack doesn't even have a single Comba Christ song on it, and they could have severely improved matters. The biggest green flag was a new track from Evanescence, but that was small comfort compared to having Guerilla Radio and what could have maybe been about 3 Green Day songs if we're being generous. Spoilers. If you know that Green Day is on this soundtrack, you can pick the song within the first 10 minutes of the first episode. Regardless of all the qualms I had from the music, character designs, casting, and marketing preview material, which even Shankar agreed with me was poorly done for some reason, I decided to give the show a chance and binge through all of it on stream with anyone else who wanted to show up. Thankfully, we managed to have a decent time because this show was even worse than I imagined it might be. The horrible soundtrack choices are as bad as a modern-day James Gunn soundtrack.
I'll give you one thing. This guy's got taste!
Are you sure about that?
The music from the games is used as poorly as Danny Elfman's Justice League score used previous leitmotifs.
That's 'cause Jesus Christ is my nigga.
And the only song that has solid thematic connection other than the one attached to a scene that shouldn't even be in the show is the Evanescence track, which is the only original song recorded for the season. At one point, I was even convinced they were using royalty-free rave music for a club scene because it sounded so generic. The characters from the games barely resemble who they're supposed to be, and the original characters are all stolen from other better things, principally Hellsing. Demon Police Darkham is essentially the Iscariots, the Vice President is essentially Enrico Maxwell.
Oh no, it's the Catholic Church!
And Ladies Elite Mook Squad, all 3 days from retirement, are essentially the Wild Geese. Except all of these characters are as dumb as bricks, which would be more of a problem if the demons they were fighting weren't just as dumb. The show follows a human man in a rabbit mask who wants revenge on humanity for maiming him and killing some of his demon friends. You see, he was abused as a kid and ran away from home with a copy of Alice in Wonderland, which led to him going through a randomly created portal between the human realm and the demon realm and being adopted by a family of friendly demons who lived on the other side. Then, when his adopted demon sibling died, he decided to lead his demon friends to the human world with a device he built so that they could thrive beyond the confines of their prison. And if you're thinking that sounds a hell of a lot like Undertale with Azrael and Kara's roles reversed, you're correct, because that's basically what this is. Except that Shankar and Alex Larson aren't half the writers Toby Fox is and wind up turning the kid into a bunny-masked Bane knockoff who experiments on the very people he's trying to save. Oh yeah, that barrier between the human and demon realms? That was put up by Sparta, otherwise known as Demon Jesus, who so loved humanity that he ran for office on the platform of building a magic wall and making hell pay for it. Oh, sorry, Makai.
To any Makayan who can hear me.
After his first term in office, Sparta had 2 kids who he gave the keys to destroying the wall instead of just destroying them. Then he disappeared. Anyway, those kids are Virgil and Dante, and each has half of a necklace, which, when used with their blood and Sparta's sword Force Edge, can tear down the wall! And somehow, Darkham and Vice President Batman, played by Kevin Conroy, rest in peace, know about this and use some bullshit to find out that Dante has one half of the necklace after learning that Rabbit Bane has the other, and the sword. I could go on about how mutually dumb Vice President Batman and Rabbit Bane's plans are, but I think I'll save that for another video. Suffice to say it that if this plot had been designed around coherent storytelling as opposed to fake intrigue and incoherent themes, it would have been vastly different. Speaking of themes, I'm not sure this show knows what its themes are, or what themes are in general. I think it may have heard of themes from a distance, through a wall or something. Or it might have gotten a lesson in themes from Ryan Johnson, for all I know. The show features a parody of Fox News.
Using this to push their agenda that America should step down from our role as quote-unquote global policemen.
Lady says the 14 words, but in relation to humanity versus demons.
Lieutenant Arkham is the pride of this righteous army.
I'm just helping secure a world for our species.
The show then tries to say that not all demons are bad, but insists that genocide will happen if the walls between hell and earth come tumbling down.
The only true answer is to let all Makayans cross over. Now, the wall must be destroyed.
We're talking about genocide. If every demon can cross into this world, humans won't stand a chance.
And then plays American Idiot by Green Day as the United States invades hell via a portal opened atop the World Trade Centers. If the show is supposed to be satirical, it's both inept and not funny. If it's supposed to be a comedy, it's both awkward and not funny. If it's supposed to be a drama, well, I don't feel a whole lot of tension, and if it was supposed to be Devil May Cry, I never got that vibe either. Especially considering the show ends with Rabbit Bane injecting himself with an enhancing substance that turns him into a large brutish monster with a giant glowing weak spot. Kinda like a Resident Evil boss.
I already got bioorganic weapons I gotta deal with.
This has got to be the second worst job you ever gave me.
Oh, you mean after the Raccoon City job?
Third worst.
All of that aside, well, the sound effects are done fairly well. It's just a shame that there's something wrong with nearly every voice line in the show. Dialogue is either delivered way too quickly or far too slowly. And you remember that horrible hard cut I highlighted in the first video?
One-liner, but I'm trying
Yeah,
to
those are all
complete
over
right
the place in this show.
It's never-
Like someone chopped lines out of a WAV file in Premiere and didn't set the clip boundaries correctly. Either that or the lines sound like they've been edited together from multiple takes about as elegantly as trying to edit a film with a wood chipper. Team 4-Star got this shit right a decade ago, and they did it for free.
Oh, no, seriously, where's Gohan?
The animation is alright sometimes, and other times it's like Ruby's Rejects. It feels like there are missing animation cuts, like the show was rendered at the wrong frame rate, or like entire storyboards went missing at time due to how shoddy the blocking and cinematography is. And that's before we get into the sorry excuse for 3D animation the show injects seemingly at random, kinda like Creature Commandos. The show is also horribly flat and bright, which makes it look cheap, rushed, and outdated, which is funny considering both Hellsing, which the show desperately apes, and Devil May Cry the animated series are both coming up on 20 years old and have far better animation, direction, and humor. Oh yeah, have I mentioned that this show isn't funny? It has pretensions towards trying to capture the wacky humor side of Devil May Cry, but without any of the soul or wit the games, books, manga, or previous animation captured, and with a lot more swearing. Far be it for me to come across prudish about this, I am the guy who invented the minimum swear quota for fuck's sake, but if anyone were to make an abridged series of this show, it might be the first time a parody has fewer fuck bombs than the source material. Note to Audi & Co., more swearing does not equal more funny. The games were already rated M, they had all the swearing we needed. I take it he didn't learn a single thing from the reaction people had to death in Castlevania or any of the gratuitous fucking lines in that show. Frankly, this show has given me far greater appreciation for both the original games and the Ninja Theory prequel, reboot, whatever the hell. Even that game managed to capture Dante's attitude better than this.
Or mother. I don't know my mother, but if you're calling me a son of a bitch, you wouldn't be the first.
All in all, fuck this show. You can still get the Madhouse show on Blu-ray. Go watch that instead. And the Bayonetta movie. And the Resident Evil CGI films. If you still want more, watch Hellsing, Hellsing Ultimate, read the DMC novels and manga, and replay all 6 of the games. Then, go play the Bayonetta games. Then if you're desperate, head over to Archive of Our Own or fanfiction.net or look through the recommendations on TV Tropes and find something someone with a real dedication to the series wrote out of love instead of watching this over-budgeted, animated, glorified hate fic of a show. If you want a full breakdown, let me know in the comments. Until then, I'm gonna go work on my own Demon Hunter stories.
With blackjack and hookers!